Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? Os confrontos das semifinais do VCT Kickoff foram finalmente definidos. Loud enfrentará a EG e a NRG enfrentará a Sentinels. Ambos os confrontos acontecerão no próximo sábado, e quem vencer garantirá sua vaga no Masters Madrid, e quem perder estará eliminado da competição. E durante uma live recente, o FNS analisou esses confrontos e também falou sobre todos os times do VCT Américas, e separamos aqui pra gente conferir. Mas antes, já deixa aquele like nesse vídeo e confere se tá inscrito aqui no canal. É algo bem rápido pra você, mas fortalece demais o nosso trampo.
All this tells me, honestly, is that these teams, Loud, Lev, NRG, and Sen, and then even 100 Thieves, are all just way more like, what's the word? Help me with the word, chat. Now, I don't want to say better, but more polished, yes, exactly. They're just more polished in what they're doing, and teams like Sentinels, Loud, and NRG, these three specifically, have way more looks than anyone here. They just have way more looks on top of being polished. So even not only do they have more things to show and more things that they've gone over, they also do it better and more cleanly and more like in a more polished way than these other teams. The difference is like even their retakes don't look that good. Even their standard retakes don't look that good. Their protocols don't look that set. Their ult usage isn't as good. Like, their map pool doesn't seem strong because of all those things. Like, it's a very clear, like, there's a clear difference. Like, if I were to say it straight up, S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. Like, these teams are all S tier, and then these teams are like 2 levels below. Except 100 Thieves, probably like A tier. Yeah, just an NA. I'm not talking about World. This is just for NA. 100 Thieves is literally so close to being as good as like Lev, at least. Lev and maybe even Sen. Because Lev, I think, is a clear fourth now just because they lost. But Lev could easily, on any given day, be able to beat these three teams, I think. Now, again, we haven't seen NRG's, in my opinion, we haven't seen NRG's A game yet. So we have no idea what the ceiling of this team looks like. And yet they're still cruising. So the most we've seen is I think Loud hasn't shown that much, NRG hasn't shown that much because they just cruise through. Sen has shown so much and been so consistent that I have to put them in the same category as Loud and NRG. So Lev just kind of just, you know, they were close. They were close enough to where you have to put them in the same ranking as well. And I think 100 Thieves is below them, but by very little. Like, I know everybody wants changes on 100 Thieves, but I don't even know if this performance in particular requires a change. Last year, I understand people saying that. This year, there's a glimmer, trust me, there's a glimmer. But okay, EG, we just don't know. One game played. Furia, MIBR, G2, Crew, these 4 teams in particular, oh yeah, and Cloud9, these 5 teams, okay, maybe Crew is slightly behind, like we could put them last place. But all these other teams can just win on any given day versus each other. Literal, actual 50-50s. Like, actual 50-50s. 100 Thieves wins more times than they lose versus these teams. The teams I just mentioned. And then these teams are just in a tier of their own. These 4. Yeah, these 4 just straight up have more things that are polished, have more things in general on both defense and attack, and their rotations are better than any of these teams, and more solid. I mean, clearly to me, NRG and Loud are just always going to be NRG Loud. They're always going to be on top of the scene no matter what, but they're right there with them. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you think I'm glazing or not, they're right there with them. I mean, straight up, it's obvious. It's literally obvious as fuck what they're trying to do. Like, there's no way they would put Loud and NRG in the same bracket. You know what I mean? Because only one of them makes it. And both of these teams are too clouded. Yeah, who cares? Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I get this matchup. This is a fucking sick matchup. If EG beats Loud, okay, yeah, just to review this real quick. Take me about 5 seconds. There's a 0% chance that EG is beating Loud. Exactly 0. So we don't have to worry about that. But NRG Sen, I don't know. I'll say 2-1 Sen. I think they'll put up a fight, but they've just played so many games. They just got fucked. It's really that simple. Like, if Sen is capable of beating NRG after playing all those maps and NRG being able to study all that, Energy is going to have an abysmal game because their game plan will be solid no matter what. But I think Energy wins 2-1 here. Energy 2-1, Loud 2-0. And then both Energy and Sen qualify. Or sorry, Energy and Loud qualify. Yeah, way too much footage, man. Repetitive footage too, like 3 splits or 4 splits or something. It's just too much. It is just too... Like, if Sen picks any of their good maps, they'll be fully studied by Energy. So unless they could change things up in the next week, which is risky, good luck. Best of luck. The good thing about Sentinels is their protocols to retake and stuff like that are pretty solid. So if they could switch those around slightly, so they're not fully studied, we'll see. Whatever. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Still happy with this matchup. I'm glad that we're finally fucking got here.